Hey everyone, Ryan here, and today I can confirm the Ghost is better than the gunship. It's beautiful, like tears in your eyes as you start to talk about it. Beautiful. Set 75357, the Ghost and Phantom 2. So you're getting both in this set. You have the Phantom 2 flying in the background, the Ghost in the foreground, and the box art is just gorgeous. It's got this very nice starry background, and then they even chose a really good color for the AHSOKA Show here with a teal color. I'm sure this will also be represented on the Black Series from Hasbro. And then on the bottom left, we get a preview of what probably is the final AHSOKA Show AHSOKA minifigure that we're going to be getting in the Ahsoka's T-6 Jedi Shuttle. We'll talk more about the other AHSOKA sets later in the video, but the figure looks awesome. My buddy Rod pointed out to me that this could be another situation like the Darth Vader with red eyes for the Kenobi show, where they didn't end up releasing that Darth Vader with red eyes. It was just the normal Darth Vader that we've seen before. A beautiful figure, assuming that ends up being the Ahsoka figure that we get in the set. Now you're only getting 5 figures here for $170, which will never feel like enough for a big LEGO Star Wars playset. But the first figure is First Officer Hawkins. He's from the new show, and obviously we don't really know anything about him as far as I'm aware. Next we have Lieutenant Beta. Kind of like the name, kind of looks like Admiral Akbar, but with a fancy blue pilot suit, and it looks really, really good. Next, of course, the marquee figure in the set, General Hera Syndulla. She is so good looking. We had leaks of this figure not too long ago. She even has a print on the back of her head, or like that extra like tail headpiece. I don't think it's a Leku like Leia, I don't know the name of it, but it looks like such a good figure. Finally, Chopper. So he has a white torso piece, which is a bit different than in the past. I think it was gray with gray legs, and so he looks a bit different here than what we've seen in the Star Wars Rebels, but still a pretty good selection of minifigures. I could have gone for an additional Thrawn in this set or something. I don't know, to me, like having not seen the show yet, obviously, the figure selection isn't like 10 out of 10, but maybe once I've seen the show and we know Beta and First Officer Hawkins better, you know, kind of changes your opinion on it. But as of now, the minifigure selection is the only thing holding this set back from being like ultimate perfection, like just ever so slightly, because I just don't know 2 of the characters. Starting with the smaller of the 2 vehicles in this set, we have the Phantom 2. Now it is a little downsized from what we saw in 2017. It's not as good as that model, I would say, but within scale to this particular Ghost, I think it works really well, and they've hit most of the important parts that it needed. It does have a good amount of stickers littered throughout on this small build, which a lot of people won't like, but I think is fine here. It looks like you even have a sticker inside of the cockpit where you have Jacen Syndulla. I don't know if it can only fit a short-legged figure or if it's going to be able to fit a taller figure, but just of note, it does have a shorter figure in there, so it's possible the cockpit can only fit shorter figures. And unlike the 2017 version of the set, you definitely cannot put the full Chopper minifigure into the Phantom 2, so it looks like maybe you can take his head off and attach it to some studs on top, but outside of that, you won't be able to have that put on there. So that's another small downside to this slightly downsized Phantom 2, but it was downsized again to fit in scale with what you have here for the Ghost. It does look like there's some sort of mechanism to lock the Phantom 2 in place, basically. You can see a little stud at the back, and then more importantly, this little Technic piece sticking out, I think is gonna help hold your Phantom 2 in place. So it looks like that's going to be a phenomenal function. Now when it comes to the Ghost, it looks incredible. We'll start at the very front of the ship where they've kind of reshaped the front just a little bit and made it a little bit more detailed than what I think we had in 2014. It looks phenomenal there. We have a printed bubble piece on the front. That's a very nice amount of detail on that, alongside a sticker on the top canopy piece there. So print and then a sticker, 50-50 on good and bad there for a lot of people, but I still think the detail looks good. I'm pretty sure that top piece is a sticker, I should say. I'm not 100% sure. It's a little hard to tell in some images, but I feel very safe in that assumption. Now, also on the top of the Ghost, we have some great coloring with sand blue, sand green, and yellow mixed in with a little bit of red and white, and I think the color on top of it looks really good. It's not distracting. It's kind of a classy, colorful for LEGO Star Wars, so very big fan of that, and of course a lot of that matches up nicely with the Phantom 2 as far as like the accent colors that it has, so the whole like package matches together just beautifully there. On the bottom of the Ghost, you have landing gear. It looks like you also have a loading ramp that's going to go into the Ghost, although really to access the Ghost, you're going to want to pull these panels off the top. That includes the giant turret that you see on top. All of it comes off and can separate to give you great access to a pretty sizable interior. Now, this is no Millennium Falcon interior where you have like 4 separate rooms and it's super spacious, but there is a big enough play space in there where you can place your figures and they can stand up. At the front of the ship, there's a very nice little cockpit area, and then below that you can place another minifigure inside, and he can control the turret underneath, and there's also some spring-loaded shooters underneath the Ghost located just behind that. So the this Ghost releasing on September 1st is actually one of 3 Ahsoka Show sets releasing on September 1st. Another of these sets is set 75364, and it doesn't have a name or anything yet, but it's supposed to be kind of a 2-in-1 pack, kind of like the TIE Interceptor versus Fang Fighter that we saw earlier this year with 1,056 pieces, $100. Maybe it'll get a price increase to $110. You know how LEGO is these days. Include Morgan Elizabeth, Balin, Shin, a New Republic pilot, and an astromech droid. And we can actually get a pretty good view of one of the 2 vehicles that are probably going to be in this set by zooming in on the Ahsoka Show box behind the Ghost and Phantom 2. You can see a Starfighter in the background built out of Lego. I don't think they've done this a long time with Lego Star Wars, but they've put another set actually on the box art for this Lego Star Wars set, and I think that's really cool to see because it gives you a small little preview, kind of gets you hyped to kind of get the other set to go with this set. And so that is supposed to be one of the other Ahsoka Show sets releasing alongside this, so I think that's really cool to have them all kind of working in unison there. And then of course the other set is the 75362 Ahsoka's T-6 Jedi Shuttle. That's 599 pieces, and the latest on that is that it has officially gotten a $10 price bump from $70 to $80, so they're increasing prices before sets even come out. It's actually insane. But this is where we will see our Ahsoka Tano minifigure like you see on the box for the Ghost here, Sabine Wren, Hu Yang, and an Inquisitor. So it seems like a really good figure selection for that T6 shuttle. Let's just hope the size makes sense for the price there at $80. But those are all 3 Ahsoka Show sets coming out on September 1st with tons of images of the Ghost obviously just leaking today. I think the Ghost is one of, if not the best Star Wars sets of the year, and potentially the Ahsoka wave as a whole here on September 1st might be like the best of a Disney Plus show's first wave of sets. Anyway, I forgot to say at the beginning, but huge thank you to Brick Clicker who found these images on the Lego New Zealand or Australian website and sent me the links so that I could get them in full quality. So anyway guys, let me know what you think about this one in the comments below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.